20,726 Victorians got their third dose of the vaccine, and that's a terrific number. So we've seen really strong numbers this week come through our state vaccination centres to get their vaccine, and we continue to encourage Victorians to get their third dose to keep themselves and our community safe. In terms of the COVID numbers more specifically, we have, as of today, 644 people in hospital, and that's an increase from 613 as at yesterday. 58 people are in ICU with 24 on a ventilator. Very sadly, we had another 6 people pass away yesterday with COVID, and our thoughts and sympathies are with their families and loved ones. 21,728 people were diagnosed with COVID yesterday, and 68,202 Victorians were tested yesterday. And again, we thank those Victorians for taking the time to go out and get tested. And there are currently 69,680 active cases in the Victorian community. And as I've mentioned, on testing and both vaccinations, we've had a really strong response from Victorians this week on the numbers of people going and getting vaccinated. And just a day or two ago, we opened the booking for parents to book their children 5 to 11 years of age to get their child COVID vaccine, which the rollout in our state centres starts from next Monday. And in just the first 24 hours that the bookings were open, we've had more than 25,000 children were booked in to receive their vaccination. That's almost 5% of the eligible 5 to 11 population, and that's in addition to the bookings that have been made through GPs and pharmacies that are also offering the child vaccination program throughout the state. And we're seeing at our state-run centres, the child-friendly environments are being finalised next week, ready to open from Monday to welcome children and their families to support them to get their vaccine. We also, on people looking to secure an adult or 12-plus vaccination, we have 167,000 bookings available right now for people who are wanting to get their third dose over the January period. And of course, bookings will continue to be made available on our system and encourage Victorians to go and get that third dose as quickly as they can once they become eligible for that third dose. Also today, we're wanting to provide some additional information on how Victorians who test positive on a rapid antigen test will be able to self-report their result quickly and easily to in turn get the support they need to manage their illness. This online form has gone live as of today, and there's just 9 really simple and easy questions that people will need to step through that are very much in line with the sorts of questions and information that Victorians are asked when they go and turn up for a PCR test at state-run centres. It should only take a couple of minutes to work through these questions to answer them. And if people who want some extra assistance to fill out this form, or indeed are seeking some translation services for our culturally and linguistically diverse community, we'd encourage those people to go to the hotline where they can get information and assistance on how to complete the form. Victoria is the first state, on the first mainland state, to set up this system, and we're really pleased to be able to make this available as quickly as possible following the announcements yesterday about the role that rapid antigen tests are going to play as a community, as we go forward as a community to manage the latest iteration of the COVID pandemic. And it's important to remember that turning positive on a rapid antigen test is the same. It's the equivalent as turning positive on a PCR test. We'll be asking Victorians to, if you turn positive on a rapid antigen test, to isolate for the 7 days, to tell your contacts that you have turned positive. And it's important that we do also, as part of telling your contacts, isolating for 7 days, that we're asking Victorians to register their results on the Department of Health's website or through the hotline, is because it's so we can also make sure that Victorians have the care, support and information they need to help them through this period of time. For many people, they'll be able to manage their illness themselves at home, and that's going to be that'll be able to be supported through the information they provide through the registering of their positive RAT. But also too, if you do need some extra help and support, or if the symptoms do turn more serious, we'll be able to make sure you get the support you need, and that's where that's also going to play. That's why it's an important role that you do fill out that form either on the website or go through the hotline. But also too, moving to this system means that through a rapid antigen test, if you turn negative and you're not a household contact or you haven't been told you need a PCR test, it means you'll be able to go back to your normal life more quickly because of this change to both moving to rapid antigen testing and the reporting requirements that we're detailing today. Because we will see fewer Victorians needing to wait on the result of that PCR test before they can go and either receive the care and information they need or go back and return to life as more normals, which means less disruptions for all of us. So just before I finish up on COVID-related matters, again, encourage Victorians as you're getting tested, getting vaccinated, please do also, if you're returning a positive result on a rapid antigen test, to go and register that information on the website or the hotline, because it will be important to both help us to care for you, but also to help keep track of the cases across the Victorian community. And just finally, another reminder to please encourage Victorians to go and get that important third dose vaccination as well. Just before I hand over to Jerome to talk in a bit more detail on these matters, I did just want to provide an update on the weather situation we've been experiencing in Victoria over the past 24 hours. There has been some wild storms come through various parts of the state, and we've seen in the last 24 hours the Portland community in the southwest has been particularly impacted, where the Vic SES in Portland has received something like 100 plus requests for assistance as a consequence of flash flooding and hail damage. The Warrnambool Incident Control Centre has been activated to provide support for that community, and in addition to that, the Ballarat Incident Control Centre continues to remain active following the storms and the storm damage that was impacted on that community yesterday, with ongoing rapid impact assessments underway. There's also further additional statewide support on standby, given we are expecting more wild weather over the course of today, and this is a timely opportunity to remind Victorians who are to have the Vic Emergency app on standby to please check that. If you're travelling around the state, to please check our Vic Emergency app for weather conditions and any incidences. And another reminder too that to try and avoid driving in at times of high wind, and please do not drive through floodwaters. It is highly dangerous. And if any Victorians do need assistance as a consequence of any damage brought about by the storms and the weather, please call the Victorian State Emergency Service on 132 500. They provide a great support to our community in times of emergency and are absolutely on standby today to continue to provide that assistance. With those comments, I'll now hand over to Jerome. Thank you.